Hi, my name is Denise York, and I serve as the Director of Youth Ministry here at Immaculate Conception Parish. On behalf of Sister Judy and Father Bob and myself, it is my pleasure to welcome you to this year of preparation for the Sacrament of Confirmation. It's a very exciting year, and we're looking forward to sharing it with you and your family. We like to refer to this year as their commissioning year, as they end their formal faith formation and are commissioned or sent out into the world as disciples in the world today. We do never stop learning about our faith, but that formal part of the education is what this year is about for our young people. As we start this year, I wanted to hopefully give you some information before our parent teen information meeting so that hopefully it might shorten our meeting time together, but also give you some very important details related to our program itself. The year itself is really, in a sense, 2 years in one. From September through December, they do all of the 10th grade work, so to speak, and then from January through April are the actual confirmation preparation sessions. Now, the text that we use for both parts of the year is called The Handbook for Today's Catholic Teen by Mr. Jim R. What we've found that we love about this book is that it's in somewhat of a question or an answer or a topic and an information section so that it's very user friendly for our young people. We found that the teens tend to see it as a resource. We've had young people who have told us that they've kept this text even after they've made their sacrament because it helps them look up different things or details about our faith. It's certainly not a complete catechism of the Catholic Church, but it's enough information in a youth-friendly format to help them as they continue on their journey learning about their faith. We try to keep all of the sessions in small groups as much as possible, generally between 10 and 12, 14 at most, young people in a group with one of our catechists so that they can really be engaged in the learning. All of the sessions are very active learning. There's different things that they do together, so they're certainly not sitting in desks in a classroom style anymore. They're really participating in their formation as young disciples in our faith. We also value student choice. And so the last two sessions of that first half of the year, the part that goes September to December, they have 5 different workshop choices that they'll have an opportunity to choose from. Have you friended Jesus? The Bible, the #1 bestseller, Web of Relationships, Helping Hands on Service, and Stand, Sit, Kneel, Why We Do the Catholic Things We Do are those choices. And they'll get to pick so that ideally those last 2 nights are topics that they've chosen to learn about. In the second half of the year, during the confirmation preparation sessions, which is when our friends from Catholic High School join our small groups, they have a prayer experience night. And again, they get to choose from 5 different prayer experiences. So they'll select their top 3, they'll rank them 1 to 5, and then they'll get to participate in 3 different prayer experiences that night. We found that this has become one of their favorite nights of our year. We hope overall that this really is an engaging process for both our young people and for our families, and that it really helps to foster the total personal and spiritual growth of our young people. One of the first forms that will need to be turned in is what we've put together as just one. It's a sponsor and name form. The sponsor is someone who will walk with them in their journey and hopefully walk with them in their faith journey as they continue their lifelong faith formation as disciples. Father Bob and I will discuss those requirements at the meeting, but that will actually be the first form that's going to be due for them. Also on that form, they select their confirmation name. Now that name, they have the option of picking either a saint's name or a name of someone from the Bible or keeping their own baptismal name. The purpose of choosing a saint's name or the name of someone from the Bible is that it's someone whose faith life, whose characteristics, whose principles are things that they want to model in their own lives. So they're welcome to do that. They can look up patron saints of different things or, different information about some of our prophets and folks from the Bible. If they do decide to choose a name other than their baptismal name, they just have to write a short paragraph explaining why they're selecting that specific name. The next thing that will be due will be a letter requesting the sacrament. Each candidate writes a letter to Father Bob and myself explaining why they're interested in being confirmed, what unique gifts that they've realized that they have, and how they could share those gifts in God's service, whether it's in our parish, in the wider community, in their school. But what is it? Why is it they feel that they're ready to be confirmed, and how do they intend really to live as a disciple in our world and to serve others? We also have them write this letter because depending upon who is sent as our confirming bishop or confirming moderator, the curia, who sometimes gets sent. In our case, at this time, it's Father Peter Corrales. Whoever's sent sometimes wants to see letters from the young people themselves. Since we don't know who will be coming until February or March, we'd like to already have these letters so that if that is requested, rather than asking the young people in February or March to write a letter, we've already got the letters in hand. They've been turned in November, and we just forward those on to the confirming minister. Also, part of their preparation, when we all come together, when our Catholic high school friends join us in January, we have a retreat. And the retreat is required for the sacrament because, really, in a sacrament, you'll hear Father Bob say this, it's not God who changes, it's us who changes. And hopefully, our relationship with God is deepened. Well, how much that happens depends upon how open we are to that sacrament and open to God's grace. So the retreat is also part of this process. It's a time of prayer and reflection. It's actually put together by young people from our own parish who've already been confirmed. They'll get together with me and they'll plan, and they will facilitate that retreat day for their peers. The retreat is held at Harvest House in Buffalo. When you get your packet that night, you're going to have a page in there that will give you directions to Harvest House in South Buffalo. So those directions will be in your packet. There are 2 different retreat dates, and you'll find in our program that we like to offer 2 different dates so that if whatever date you're assigned to, if that doesn't work for your schedule, you can go to the opposite date. We have no problem with you changing the date. I just need you to let me know that you're going to do that. Since I mentioned multiple dates, when we offer, one thing that you have to go to at 2 different times, when you put that together in the whole calendar, it looks very overwhelming because there's more dates than you need to actually participate in or attend. So what I've done is I color code the calendar. So any of the confirmation or 10th grade sessions that they have to attend, all of those dates on your calendar will be in red. All the other dates will be in a different color. So, for example, the retreat both of those dates may be in purple on the calendar. What that means is you only need to attend one of those 2 different colored dates. It's our hope, it's my personal hope, that makes the schedule look a little less overwhelming, because on paper, even to me, it looks overwhelming. And I know young people's lives are busy and family lives are busy. I'm hoping that the color coding helps to make that look a little less overwhelming. So when you do see the schedule, take a deep breath first and remember, to notice the colors, that it's really not as many dates as it looks like on the calendar itself. In February, all of the young people, as part of the preparation for confirmation, participate in an interview. And at the interview, they're asked some questions about their relationship with God and their own faith journey. But prior to that, and you'll receive this in your packet, I'll also end up posting it on the confirmation page of the youth ministry website. But we have a list. Father Bob and I have 24 questions that we ask them to prepare before they come. So they can take these questions, and we ask them to bring the answers to these questions in written out form. Now, that doesn't mean I want them to handwrite them all out. They can copy and paste from the internet. They can type it out, however they choose to do that. But they bring their typed out, answers to the interview, and we will select a certain number of those. They'll pick a certain number of these questions, and they'll share their answers to those with the interviewer when they come for the interview itself. There are 2 different interview times. They come at any time during those time frames, and the information is listed at the top of this sheet. I like to alert you to these questions now so that, whether it's during one of their breaks or a day off from school, if they want to start working on this, they can do that. They can certainly find a lot of the answers in their handbook for today's Catholic teen, and also Google is their friend. They can look it up, just make sure, they're making sure that they're on a Catholic site, that they're getting the Catholic information for that. Um, I did mention sponsors earlier in this video. We do have a sponsor candidate session that's also offered twice, so you'll have 2 other dates on that calendar that are a different color. And we ask that they come. It's very similar to the parent-teen workshops that you've been coming to in 7th, 8th, 9th, and there is one, for 10th grade and confirmation. Those dates will be at the workshop. We've offered one, it happens in the second half of the year in that January to April time, where they come with their sponsor. They're on a Sunday morning. And they do similar things to what, the parent and the teen workshop happens. It's an opportunity for them to faith share together. Now, if their sponsor lives a distance away and can't come in for that, we do have another option. They just need to contact me. I will email them something, and then after they have this conversation with the sponsor that I've emailed them the outline for, there's a link that they go to a site online, and they respond online to let me know that they had that conversation with their sponsor. Speaking of online, if they do miss a session, when they come to the next session, they will receive makeup work. And at the top of that makeup work will again be some kind of URL address for an online survey. So instead of handing in to me a piece of paper saying they did the work, they go online and they respond to these questions online, and that's how I know that they completed the makeup work for that session. The first half of the year, the classes are on Thursday evenings. The confirmation preparation sessions themselves alternate Thursdays and Sundays. We found that way if a young person has a regular Thursday night or regular Sunday night commitment, we're not asking that all the classes be on that night. We divide up, those dates. Again, it's spaced out between January and April. We do ask that for the confirmation sessions themselves, that the young people do not miss 2 or more of those sessions, because it really is that gathered time together where they're faith sharing with their peers that really helps in the process and prepares us for confirmation. Couple more things. The service project, or not service project, the service form. We don't do a project here. We don't ask them to do some kind of specific service project as a class, because we know that our young people are already doing service. They're allowed to count anything from March of the previous year up until this current, confirmation year. And this form is not due until, March or early April, depending on how the calendar has fallen. And we divide it up. We only ask that they put in 4 hours of service. And the service is differentiated between type A service and type B service. What we ask is that at least 2 hours of their service be this type A. Type A is directly working with people. It's where you're directly serving people, directly working with people. We want to make sure that it's that connection, that the Jesus in me is connecting with the Jesus in someone else, by serving other people. The type B service is a service that is, very much needed, whether it's setting up tables, cleaning up from something, doing yard work, whatever the case may be. That's our type B service. So all 4 hours can be type A. If that's what they've done, that's fine. You don't have to have any type B. We just ask that at least 2 of the hours of their service be type A service. On the opposite side of this page in your packet will be a list of some upcoming service dates in the coming year and opportunities here at the parish if they do need to find a way to get some service hours done. That's really all the information that I have to share in this video. I'm sure you're tired of listening and watching my talking head, but truly it is so that I don't have to have you in the cafeteria in uncomfortable chairs for longer than necessary. Please know that, we, Sister Judy and Father Bob and I are very committed that whenever they come and whenever you come with them, that we give them quality, that what we teach them and the information we cover and what we discuss with them will truly equip them to live their faith. That it's not just something that they do when they come here, but it becomes a part of who they are as disciples, becomes part of their daily life, and so that they're truly living as Christ in the world. And that's truly what also being Eucharist is about. It's what being Catholic's about. It's what being a disciple is about. So that's our commitment to your young people and to your family. We are very much looking forward to this year. Confirmation is always one of our favorite and one of the highlights when we celebrate that confirmation mass with our young people. We are looking forward to it. Please know that if you need anything from us during the year, if you have any questions, you do have our contact information. I look forward to seeing you at our information meeting and at the workshops and other things that happen as we continue in this preparation process. Thank you so much for sharing your young people and your family with us.